Pick up your guitar. Or think about a piano. Think about anyone you have ever seen play music. Jimi Hendrix, Beethoven, your favorite musician. Now here's something nobody ever told you. None of that music, none of it, would exist in the form you know it without an elephant. Not a metaphor, not a theory, literally, an elephant. And right now, that connection is disappearing. Let me take you somewhere. Deep in the Congo rainforest of Central Africa. Not a place most people ever think about. Not a place that makes the news very often. But somewhere in that forest, a tree is growing. Slowly. Very slowly. It takes between 60 and 200 years to fully mature. Its wood is jet black, so dense it sinks in water, so hard it feels like stone. It is called ebony, and it is the reason music sounds the way it does. The black keys on every piano you have ever seen is the ebony, the fretboard of almost every guitar ever produced. Ebony, the body of the clarinet, the oboe, the fingerboard of the violin, the fittings of the cello. Ebony. A UCLA research study confirmed it. Almost every guitar ever produced includes an ebony fingerboard. For hundreds of years, the sound of human music has been built on this one tree from the heart of Africa. Now here's where the elephant comes in. Scientists spent years trying to understand how ebony trees reproduce, how they spread, how new ones grow. And what they found stopped everyone in the room. Ebony trees cannot spread their seeds on their own. The fruit is too heavy. The seeds are too large. They just fall to the ground and rot at the base of the parent tree. The only thing on earth that eats the ebony fruit swallows the seed whole, carries it for miles through the forest, and deposits it somewhere new, protected in a layer of dung that keeps it safe from rodents and gives it exactly the nutrients it needs to germinate, is the African forest elephant. The elephant is the only reason new ebony trees exist. Without the elephant, there is no ebony. Without ebony, there is no fretboard. Without the fretboard, the guitar as we know it simply does not exist. The researchers went into sections of the Congo where elephants had been hunted to extinction, and they counted the ebony saplings. Then they went into sections where elephants still roamed, and they counted again. The difference? 68% fewer young ebony trees in the areas without elephants. 68%. In just one generation of poaching, the forest had already begun to collapse. And remember, a new ebony tree takes up to 200 years to mature. This is not a slow problem. This is an emergency, moving in slow motion. Here's what makes this even harder to hear. In the last 30 years, the illegal ivory trade has driven an 86% decline in African forest elephant populations. 86%. They're not just endangered, they're disappearing. And today, elephants are already absent in at least 65% of the historical range of the ebony tree, which means 65% of the forest that used to grow new ebony is no longer growing it. Not because of climate change, not because of disease, because someone wanted ivory. And the consequence is being felt all the way to the music you listen to. There's a man called Bob Taylor. He co-founded Taylor Guitars, one of the most respected guitar companies in the world. A few years ago, he traveled to Cameroon to see the ebony forests himself. And what he saw there changed him. He launched something called the Ebony Project, a conservation effort to plant new ebony trees and protect the elephants that grow them. They have planted 40,000 ebony trees so far. But remember, those trees will not be ready for 60 to 200 years. Bob Taylor said something that stayed with me. He said, if guitar players want ebony fretboards in the future, they need to support elephant conservation in the Congo Basin today. A guitar company asking people to save elephants. Because without the elephant, there is no guitar. Before I leave this forest, I want you to hold one thought. Everything in the natural world is connected to everything else in ways we don't understand until something starts to disappear. The elephant seems far away from your life. It seems like someone else's problem. Something that happens in a forest you'll never visit. But the music you grew up with, the instrument your favorite song was played on, the sound that made you feel something when you were 14 years old, it arrived in your life because an elephant walked through a forest in Africa and dropped a seed. We are not separate from the natural world. We're made of it. Every song, every note, every string, every elephant. This has been the Undiscovered. Every week, a new journey, a new discovery, something the world forgot to tell you. If this changed how you see something today, share it with one person. Until next time, keep exploring.